Well, thank you very much. Is this on? Is it great? Okay, you'll hear me. Well, friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me very great pleasure to welcome you to the Site Research Symposium, or CITES as it's known, 2012. This year's CITES is jointly organised in collaboration with the Education Bureau of the Hong Kong SAR, as well as with two other units within the University of Hong Kong. That's the Centre for the Enhancement of Teaching and Learning, CETL, and the Hong Kong New Libraries. And the main theme of this year's symposium is e-learning in a changing landscape of emerging technologies and pedagogies. And that chosen focus is especially timely because e-learning has become such a hot topic, not just for those of us who work in education, but more widely, particularly among parents with school-aged children. This has largely occurred, I guess, because of all the recent attention given to the topic of e-textbooks in the local media in response to the Secretary of Education's launching of the e-textbook initiative. Much of that discussion has been on whether e-textbooks can replace paper-based textbooks and whether the advent of e-textbooks will force the textbook prices to go down. However, if there's one thing that we've learnt from the history of IT in education, as well as the history of IT in other arenas of activity such as banking, it's that a replacement model of e-anything will be doomed. The power of IT is in its transformative potential. The whole banking industry has been reinvented with the central role of IT at the core of that transformation. Now, I might want to debate the merits of some aspects of that transformation, and to a layperson like me, perhaps in the case of banking, it would have been better if more of the bankers had been replaced by computers, since one of the less fortunate byproducts of the transformation in banking is that it appears to have empowered bankers to find an almost infinite way of losing people's money and of screwing up the world economy. But putting that on one side, within education, the vision that started in the 1950s of IT replacing the role of teachers has simply not happened. And what we now realise is that the true power of IT in education lies in its transformative potential as an empowering tool for learners. At the same time, what we also realise is that such potentials can only be realised through changes in pedagogy, as well as in the entire ecological landscape in education. That landscape includes the learning environment, both digital and physical. And this beautiful venue that we're using for this year's CITES, which I'm visiting for the first time actually, it's a prime example of how innovative learning environments can foster new learning interactions. Another core condition for success in realising the transformative potential of IT is e-leadership, the capacity to manage change through capacity building and strategic partnership in a constantly changing environment. And with all of this in mind, it's particularly appropriate that this year's CITES has identified 4 sub-themes: emerging technologies, e-leadership, e-pedagogy, and learning analytics, which refers to the use of analysis and visualization tools to support assessment for learning and just-in-time feedback. I'm very pleased to report the high registration figures for this year's CITES. It's extremely gratifying to see that more than 300 people have signed up for the 2-day event. And I'm also very impressed by the diversity of the participant profile, as well as staff and students from Hong Kong U and other tertiary institutions in Hong Kong. We have about 25 participants from the Education Bureau and a large number of teachers from primary and secondary schools, drawn from both the local and the international school sectors. There are also several participants from the education publishing industry and a number from e-learning related initiatives such as learning management system vendors. Geographically, we also find participant diversity. In addition to our participants from Hong Kong, mainland China and Macau, I'm very pleased to welcome participants from Australia, Spain and Italy. So with such a great venue and great participants and a fantastic lineup of keynote speakers and presentations, I really think we have everything that we need for a wonderful conference. Obviously this morning has gone terrifically well, and I'm sure that the rest of the conference will be tremendous too. So let me conclude by welcoming you once more And I really hope that you have a fruitful and enjoyable 2 days at CITES 2012. Thank you very much.